Should I get my hat?
Get your hat, darling.
Here,
This is my friend Diamond. We are doing our backstage bonus chat for you guys, and she's just
my farmer hat.
She's in the Easter parade. All right, so a couple things. We're going to talk about your Me Too twos that happened to you. But first, you're going to tell a Nancy Grace story. I wanted to ask you, like, she comes across harsh on air, but I want to know what it was like when you were talking off air about you didn't want to cross her, or if the facts were a little different. Tell me how you dealt with that. Like, give me an example.
Yeah. Oh, let me think. Well, I'll tell you, Nancy is a force. That's why she's been successful, but sometimes she's a little bit too much of a force. And she was a former prosecutor, so she's always looking for somebody to be guilty. Well, maybe they're not guilty. Anyway, the story that pops in my mind, Mo, is that when I was covering the Michael Jackson trial, 2005, I'm out in a parking lot, right, doing live shots. Me and Savannah Guthrie, we were switching off. We both worked at Court TV. And during the day, Nancy Grace is the anchor. So she brings you in, you do your little report, and then she asks you questions. And, Nancy always had a question about, something urgent. With nostrils flaring. But she didn't usually get the facts straight. Now, this is Nancy Grace, the star of the Court TV network. So you don't want to say, no, come on, Nancy, you're completely wrong. Okay, here's the deal. You can't do that. So you would have to sort of, like, she would say, all right, so Michael Jackson came in drunk as a skunk this morning, right? Well, actually, Nancy, he was an hour late today, and the judge got really mad and said he was going to issue an arrest warrant for him if he didn't get in. So his lawyer went and made some calls, and sure enough, in about an hour, he arrived at the courthouse, but he had his pajamas on, didn't he? Yes, Nancy, he did. He had on pajamas. They were light blue in color with white clouds on them, but he had a blazer on as well. And his wig was a little askew, and he looked like he was in pain. And his lawyer told the judge that he had been at the hospital. And, well, it looked like he was on something, wasn't he? And I said, yes, actually, I have a very bad back myself. And that was his complaint. And he did look as though maybe someone had given him a pain pill or two.
But she wanted...
you had to kind of you had to answer her, but you had to keep...
You have to be factual. You have to take it down a notch. You have to say, well, actually, he wasn't drunk. He may have seemed that way, but we're told it was pain medication. It's like talking to a tot. It's like you're talking to a tot.
The tot mom. Let me tell you, tot mom. No, I don't mean to put her down because she was very nice to me, and I did fill in for her both at Court TV and when she went over to CNN at HLN. But she is a forceful woman that you do not want to piss off. Can I say that on the air?
You could say, you could say effing piss off. All right, so who are your Me Too moments? What happened?
Oh, well, listen, you were a young journalist. Come on, coming up in the newsroom. I was the only woman in most of the newsrooms where I worked. I had a news director who just flat out, my first news director at KOB in Albuquerque, his name was Dale. I think he must be dead by now because he was a raving alcoholic. Would just press me up against the wall and say, listen, it doesn't have to mean anything. We just, have sex. I was 19 years old. Yeah. I'm on the air on a 50,000 watt radio station doing the morning news, and this guy's rubbing up against. But we didn't say anything back then because who would you have told? The other guy who eyes you all the time coming in and out, the general manager? So we put up with it. I'm talking, I'm going to date myself now, but I'm talking the 70s.
Yeah, but Diane, too, also, too, I don't know about you, but I would assume so. No matter, at 19, I wasn't an experienced female, and
I wasn't.
People think, well, you're an adult, you shouldn't have to stick up for yourself. Well, you don't. It's like you haven't been in these situations. You've just went from like a young girl to a teenager to a young woman. You don't. Life teaches you.
And this is my boss. I mean, and over the years, there were lots of guys like this. I mean, come on, I'm no Marilyn Monroe, but there were
Well, you're
lots
very
of guys like
attractive.
this.
You're
There was a very prominent, he's now dead, a very prominent political strategist who we were going up Beekman Place, that beautiful terrace where they have cocktails on the roof.
First Avenue and 48th, 50th.
Something like that. And we were the only two in the elevator, and all of a sudden his tongue is in my mouth. Excuse me. Hello.
Well, don't you like
I had a presidential candidate come on to me. Who's now dead, so I'm not going to embarrass his family, but I'll tell you off air who it was later. But what did we know back then? And what did we do? We didn't report it. We didn't get all victim-y about it. We just did our job.
There's somewhere in the middle. Because sometimes I think when somebody goes like, whatever, I mean, we could just use an example of, I'm not getting into the whole Cuomo thing because there's too much there, but, he wanted me to do an Irish dance on St. Patrick's Day. Like, okay,
Yeah.
like stop it. That's not, you girls have, if that's your idea of victimization, calm the F down.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Did you ever slap anybody? I slapped him. And what happened to women just sticking up for themselves? If a guy is coming on to you, shoving you in the corner of an elevator and sticking his tongue in your mouth, give him a slap.
Get the hell off of me. But I also think there's the other side where it gets, so I think some of these gals are like, oh my God, well, I was offended. I didn't like the way I looked at it. If you can't meet somebody at work or flirt or ask them if they want to go out or I don't know where you're going to do it. So you can't do that. But on the other hand, you have these creepy guys who are like,
absolutely,
Weinstein, where you have to have a voice for that. So
Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I don't think it's a one size fits all thing. And I don't think everything is a Me Too moment, but I think some are. And I think, when we were growing up, you didn't have anyone to tell, so you dealt with it. I get it. But I don't think we had it to the extent that, like the door's locked and you can't get out and the guy's coming with a swinging dick naked at you. You know what I mean? I didn't do that. I didn't have it.
You're going in for a meeting and he's in a bathrobe but naked underneath like Weinstein. Right.
So there's different levels. But I'm with you on that. I still wish you would tell me, who the presidential candidate to? Just tell me what he did, since you can't tell me who he is.
Put his hand right up my blouse.
Where were you?
We were in an office. I was in radio at the time, and we were in the radio office.
Okay, Diane, I have questions. Okay, so
so I'm only talking to you now, right?
Yeah, just me and all the Patreons, whoever subscribes. So it was a vice presidential candidate or a presidential candidate?
It was a presidential candidate.
And roughly what year was this?
No.
Oh, come on!
I'll tell you, he had been a United States Senator before.
Okay,
I covered Capitol Hill. That was my beat when I lived in Washington for many years. I worked for National Public Radio and the RKO radio networks. And
happy day. So what about, can you give me any hints and see if I guess?
He's now dead.
Right, I know, but that doesn't help me.
No.
Well, I could go through. There's a lot of presidents.
I gotta go back to my garden now.
What state is he from?
See, now the journalist in her is coming.
I want to know
this is what she was like.
But he's dead. It's not like he's alive.
I know, but he has family, and I know his.
All right. All of a sudden, this ethics and values, blah blah. No, Albuquerque.
I'm an investigative reporter. I live my life not giving source names out or any hints.
All right, don't make me hate you.
You love me.
But that's not a source. That's like a friggin' happened. All right, listen, me and you.
Yes, hum.
Thank you for hanging with me. And
I have one question. When you say on your fabulous shows that you do, that I love so much, and everyone should get their friends and family to go to Patreon and
that's where we are now.
Not just for the $5 thing either. Okay. And you say wig out. What is that? Wig?
Wig.
What is that? Like an earwig?
No. It's so ridiculous. My sister and I, there was a gal, Nene Leakes. She was on one of the Housewives of Atlanta. I never watched the Housewives of Atlanta, but she became
African American lady, yes.
Right, with the sometimes blonde hair. And one of the women, I didn't watch it. It was just in the pop culture. There was a blonde white woman on the show who's married to a football player. I think her name's Kim something. And it was just big, flowy blonde hair. she just had another reality show with her own family, a lot of kids.
I
But
don't watch this stuff.
I don't either.
It's 60 Minutes, you know?
Oh, I do like that. And I do like Fareed Zakaria. But the thing is, so she's out there and they're having an argument, and the big blonde white woman, and Nene doesn't like her. She goes, okay, shut up. Okay, bye wig, don't want to talk to you. Bye wig, because she's mean and she has a wig. So she's like, bye wig, and it became like a meme. So my sister and I are always like, bye wig.
Bye, wig.